everyone, I'm your host Neha and you're tuned into Durian Dreaming, the show that brings you extraordinary stories from seemingly ordinary experiences in Indonesia's fast-paced market. Let's dive into today's conversation with another inspiring guest. Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Durian Dreaming. You all know that Indonesia is very big when it comes to beauty segment or beauty companies. So today we've got a special guest with us who's built a local brand as successful that it is on the same stage and competing with the global MNC and build its own presence in Indonesia. Please welcome our guest, Regina Widjaja, who is the Chief Business Officer at ESQA Cosmetics. Regina, you have had a very exciting career journey. Usually people in the beauty segment has moved within the beauty segment or they started their career in fashion or cosmetics. You worked with the banking industry and Nielsen, and then you pivoted to beauty industry. So what pulled you into the beauty industry?
Actually, when I first started my career, it was not really a choice for sure. When you first graduated and there was an opportunity in Nielsen opening up as account executive, we call it. So you deal a lot with data and then you presented it to big multinational companies, right? And then I pivot myself to banking. Because at that time it was a very different. It's not really about products, understanding finances, but it's more about the marketing inside the banking industry. So it's very different. Until one time I decided that, I wanted to work for a brand. So I studied marketing and advertising. So one of my dreams was how to build a brand, how to be in a multinational FMCG company. And at that time there was a friend of mine who moved from banking to L'Oreal.
Oh, okay.
So it was very unique, right?
Yeah.
But she worked as a trainer. So I was like, huh? You work from banking and then you move as a trainer in L'Oreal.
Yeah.
So I asked her, hey, is there an opportunity for me to move to L'Oreal? Because I really, really wanted to work for a brand.
Yeah.
Then she said, yeah, there was, but it was in sales. So I was a bit hesitant at that time.
Yeah.
I said, I love beauty. I love L'Oreal for sure. But sales, then let me think about it. Because I thought when I was very young, marketing and sales was a two different division and they always fight with each other. So I thought, in sales. But then in my mind, I thought like, Regina, the opportunity will not come twice, right? In life, there's opportunity coming to you. It's either you take it or the door's going to be closed. So I said, okay, why don't I try? I took it as a leap of faith and also a leap of my career. So I thought, okay, I took the chance. So that's how I ended up for 15 years in the beauty and cosmetic industry.
Wow. So your experience with Nielsen and banking, what did they teach you that you can apply that knowledge into the beauty segment?
I think do not ignore the data. I think it's very important. A lot of people, when they work in marketing or they work in sales or they work in beauty and fashion, they think data analytics is not that important. But for me, it's very important. How you look at your sales numbers, how you look at your product development numbers, how you analyze. Because in Nielsen, I did a lot of time crunching the numbers.
Right.
So I found numbers sexy at the time.
Right.
It was sexy. And even when I moved to beauty, I remember one of my leaders, she asked me, Regina, do you find numbers sexy? So I said, yeah, I do find numbers sexy because you need to find numbers sexy because then you can analyze data. You understand the pattern. You understand the cycle because in beauty, in retail, you have a cycle, right? And then after that, you learn to analyze a lot of things from your sales data, product data, SKU being sold, the pattern in e-commerce, the pattern in the retail business. So that's how it taught me how numbers are important in every field of industry.
Wow. So Regina, when you started, you had a career stint with L'Oreal as well, right? And they say that L'Oreal is the MBA school for beauty. So what did L'Oreal teach you about consumers that outsiders don't see?
I think when you work for L'Oreal, the first thing that they imparted to you is consumers first. I think in every company, they will say consumers first, but they really, really put that into action, consumers first. Either consumer as an end consumers, or when you work in sales, consumer as your customers, which is your retail partner. They work very fast and they're very flexible. That's what I like about L'Oreal.
Yeah.
I mean, they put consumers in the heart of their every innovations, of every actions that they did. And sometimes they make that into actions and into projects. And they're quite flexible in terms of, we see the changes in the industry. So how do we cope with this?
Okay.
And they're very flexible, and they try to cope with the demand of the market, with the demand of the consumers. And they always do a lot of research.
Okay.
So they do research, they listen to the consumers. We do house visits, to understand people in Makassar. How did they see beauty? Because it's very different with people in Jakarta.
Yeah.
So how L'Oreal can reach even people in Papua or even in Makassar, even in Banjarmasin.
Okay.
So that's very important, and it gave me passion. They really put passion into beauty in your hearts.
Okay.
And they taught you that beauty is all about detail. Retail is detail, beauty is detail. So you have to put a lot of attention to details in your everyday work.
Wow. And after L'Oreal, you moved to a startup.
Yeah.
So when you joined ESQA, it was a startup. And now, of course, it's very big. Usually when people move to a startup, it's not a career change. It's a mindset shift.
Yes.
So what's one lesson from corporate life you had to unlearn for a startup?
One lesson from corporate life that I have to unlearn from startup. That everything has to be by the book. Because when you work for a corporate or like for a multinational company, right, everything is already by the book. There's certain SOP, standard operating procedures. You have system ready for you. You have, if you want to have approvals, you have to go through this level and then another layer, another layer. It didn't happen when I joined startup. So, it was like, you are the system. You are the SOP. You create the structure. You create the system. You create the standard procedure or how you want to do things. So that's the thing that I want to unlearn. Because when I ask, okay, what is the SOP? Oh, there's no SOP. It's like, oh, okay, so there's no SOP. So it means I can do whatever I want. Yeah, you can create your own SOP. So there's things that I have to unlearn.
Yeah.
Because when you are in a multinational company, you really learn to play by the book. So you have to create everything by yourself. You are the system and you are the structure. So how you want to influence the company, how you want to influence your team, it really depends on how you want to drive the business forward. I think that's what I unlearned.
And they also say about startups that decision making is fast. It's a bit more chaotic. So what shocked you most about decision making speed in a startup?
Like I can just cancel a product launch even though it's already being developed. That's how fast it can be. For examples. There was one time we wanted to launch a blush, right? So at that time we wanted to launch a blush stick, a stick blush we call it, and we almost launched it, and then we saw there was one competitors. They launched almost the same, and they got backlash from the netizen in the social media platform just because they say it's duplicating one of the US brands. And we were like, we almost launched this almost exactly the same. And in that particular moment, we canceled everything. We reshaped, we changed the packaging.
Yeah.
We changed the formula. Yeah. We postponed all the launches for another year. So that's how quick. If I was in L'Oreal, I don't think in that instant we can decide I want to cancel a launch.
Yes.
Then, for example, this is a skin tint. This is like
Skin tint.
Skin tint.
Okay.
So this is it's not really a foundation, but it's like a foundation for your everyday use. We call it a skin tint now.
It's called a skin tint.
It's
an everyday foundation.
Yes, everyday foundation. It's very light. It's like I'm using it now, actually. It looks like a foundation. It covers quite well.
Okay.
It took us 2 years to develop this.
2 years?
2 years. We thought it's going to be fast. You are a startup. But it 2 years because we want a perfection of the formula, the packaging, even how it drops into your hands is how particular it is. So I think it's what shocked me because we can just postpone a launch. We can make it faster.
Yeah.
Or we can just cancel everything. So that is how flexible it is when you are working for a startup.
So how many products does ESQA have?
Now, maybe I think we have, in terms of SKU, maybe around 150 to 200. Because lips, we have a lot lips, right?
Yeah.
Like even skin tint, I have 10 SKUs. And then this liquid blush, I have 8 SKUs. So for every subcategory, we have a few SKUs.
Yes. And in a market like Indonesia, TikTok is a big platform.
Yes,
right?
it is.
And a lot of discovery of products happen on TikTok. What do brands still misunderstand about TikTok?
I think this TikTok is always evolving, right? I think when I joined ESQA 4 years ago, it was not that big. I still remember we did our first live streaming in the office, only 3 of us, because it's the startup of TikTok era at that time. TikTok was still seen as a social media platform and not yet as a TikTok shop. So not yet a shopping platform. And then as it was evolving, I think people misunderstood to think that all the sales has to come from TikTok shop.
Okay.
So when you invest in TikTok, actually the sales will diversify to every other channel. For example, again, I come back to the skin thing because this is one of the bestseller now for ESQA.
Okay.
When we first launched it, we thought it was a flop, to be very honest. For the first 5 months, the sales was so bad. And we were like, oh, maybe next year, what should we do with this skin tint? Should we discontinue it? Maybe the market was not ready, maybe we are too expensive. And then we switched the strategy. We invested in TikTok on the upper funnel, meaning the awareness, the branding. So not so much on the call to action. So it's not so much like a yellow card, we call it yellow card, or buy now, discount. So we scrap all of that. We work on the upper funnel in the TikTok.
Okay.
It went viral in March 2025, I think last year. Suddenly it went viral. The sales goes up to 8 times from the previous months on that particular, and we were out of stock. But it didn't happen only in TikTok. The sales didn't come only from TikTok, but also from other platforms, like from Shopee, from Sociala, even from the mom and pop shop.
Okay.
So when you make things viral or when you invest on TikTok, you cannot just look in terms of the P&L of TikTok.
Okay.
Sometimes you will think, oh, I invest a lot. The sales GMV from TikTok was not big.
Yeah.
But you have to look that when you invest in TikTok, the ripple effect is going to the other channel as well. Because it talks about branding, awareness, virality. So maybe people look like you do the product search on TikTok. You're not going to buy on TikTok. Maybe you buy on Shopee, or you buy on Sociala, or you buy in Watsons. So it's a ripple effect, but you do the product discovery in TikTok.
But platforms like TikTok also somewhere makes it very essential for brands to use KOLs and influencers.
Yes.
So when choosing a creator, what matters more than the followers count?
I think for influencers, it's more about how engaging the content is. We call influencers and affiliates, so it's very different, right? So I think in terms of marketing, when you look for influencers, of course you're gonna spend some on the mega influencers, macro KOL, micro KOL. That's normal, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays in beauty, what works was actually a lot of nano KOL. Or those word of mouth, like you and me. Maybe our followers, few hundreds.
Yeah.
But these few hundreds talking to their friends with another few hundreds followers, and it become very big. There are some content that maybe the followers only 1,000, but it become FYP. May become viral in TikTok. So it's very difficult nowadays to, sizing up whether these content creators will create a virality. It really have to do with a lot of quantity as well. The number of creators that making videos every month for you.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not about the most expensive one or with the most followers one. Yes, they can give you awareness for sure, but maybe it's not engaging. But sometimes the micro KOL, they can create a very engaging videos that makes the product viral. That's on creators. On affiliates is a different thing, because affiliates, then you deal with people who wants to sell your products and get the commission.
Yeah.
From my experience, I've worked with both with a super high followers count.
Yeah.
Like in 1 hour, maybe they can sell 1 billion rupiah. It comes with a lot of costs for the brand. One is the discount, second is the commission.
Okay.
But then I also groom a smaller affiliates. There's 1 or 2 affiliates that always sell ESQA in their platforms, coming from only 1,000 followers to now is, I think, 140,000 followers. They keep selling ESQA, and they are now my number 1 affiliates. So it's not really about the followers count, but it's about how consistent they are with your brands.
Okay.
How they love your brands. I think that is very, very important when you look in terms of affiliates. You have to diversify. You cannot only put your money, everything in these top affiliates, but you also have to diversify and build a lot of small affiliates that they have an attachment with your brand and they will sell your brand every day in their platforms.
In Indonesia, the people approval is a must. But halal certification for cosmetic brands is no longer niche, it's mainstream.
Yes.
So, how does halal certification change the emotional trust in a beauty brand?
How does it change people's perception about the brand, right? So it's not only about, like you say, it's not only about regulations, but I think it makes them feel they're important. You get what, for example, Indonesian is a very big Muslim populations. So when we emphasize that halal certification is a must, you make them feel, oh, I am important for the brand. The brand care about my belief. The brand care about me. So I'm no longer unseen. Halal now is a must. So I'm safe. It's a safety of whenever I want to buy a product, I don't have to be worried whether it's halal or non-halal, whether it's safe for me or it's not safe. So I think it makes them feel a sense of trust, a sense of belonging, a sense of I am important in this country. What I believe is important, even for the brand. So that's how it changed, I think, the whole emotional feeling of the consumers.
Oh, very nice. I never realized that they feel a sense of belongingness.
Yes.
Live streaming, irrespective of the platform, has become essential. It's no longer experimental. I want to understand, why do you think consumers would buy product on live streaming but would hesitate elsewhere?
It's an impulse. Have you tried scrolling TikTok at midnight? Midnight 00, and then you scroll TikTok and you see people give discount. I did that. I think it does a lot of because when you look at the pattern, because in ESQA we do a lot of live streaming. We started only 1 hour, 2 hours. Now it's almost 24 hours live streaming. So it's a heavy job of live streaming from our hosts live streaming, right? On average, we do 14 hours every day live stream.
Yeah.
Why people like to buy in live stream? They like the communication and the engagement. You can ask questions without showing your face. Like if you go to the malls, you go to the store, you don't like it when the salesperson going around together with you, asking you questions.
Yeah.
Oh, Bu, mau beli apa? This one and that, right? It's very annoying. But in TikTok or in Shopee, you just type. You ask questions, they answer. You ask questions, they answer. And then sometimes the price discount so deep. And it's an impulse. I mean, cosmetics is maybe less than 100,000 for them. I want to buy a blush on. Rather than I go to the store just to buy a blush on, let me check what color is suitable for me, what is the best seller. And then they answer, and then we can talk. Okay, and then I'll buy. It's special price. And then they will tell you, okay, in another 1 hour, we'll have special price. Da, 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 da. So it's very engaging. It's like watching entertainment,
Yeah.
I bought a luggage from TikTok live stream. Luggage. This is a luggage, a set of luggage because it's so cheap and I'm scrolling at midnight in TikTok. So it's more like an impulse.
Yeah.
So I think it's nowadays people like typing more than they have a face-to-face interaction. Some they still like to swatch on the store, right? For sure, it's cosmetics.
Yeah.
But sometimes on live stream, one is about price. Sometimes they give a very good deal on TikTok live stream. Second, you don't have to show your face. You can ask anything to the host. They can answer you and then you just purchase. And sometimes to also help the host, it's so funny. They think, oh, if they are buying from the host will get a commission. So I'll help you, I'll buy from you because I like you. So it's also a sense of like a solidarity within the host live streaming and the consumers.
You're in a very busy industry. I mean, like you said, 24 hours
Live stream, yes.
going on, decisions are making fast, How do you protect your energy in an industry which never slows down?
I'm old enough, I think. Yeah. When I was younger, maybe I didn't have that boundaries, 10 years ago. But this is for all my friends who either you are still young, started your career, or you already, in your managerial levels. For me personally, I don't believe in what we call the work-life balance kind of thing. Like I have to work 7 hours, then I have a balance time of 7 hours. It doesn't work like that in the real life.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is you need to learn to make boundaries, but also fulfilling your responsibilities. In a way, I disagree if you say, I don't want to do this job, I need to rest, but you haven't fulfilled your responsibility. I'm sorry, I mean, you are getting so-called paid by the company, you need to fulfill responsibilities, but for your personal, you need to know where the boundaries are. That's for me. I learned to say no to a lot of things. I learned not to feel guilty if I don't open emails on weekend. I mean, it's okay. It can wait until Monday. It's not like a life or death situation. So it comes to a sense that I had a rough time when I was young. I mean, I worked so much until I got sick. Literally sick because the doctor said I was so stressed out. So all the symptoms coming out in my body, like eczema and everything. My eyes got blurred. So I was very passionate with my job. I mean, I love working. And then I realized that, maybe I should learn how to say no and, stop on certain things. And it's okay to take a break.
A lot of young people wants to enter the beauty industry and they get charmed by how glamorous it is, how exciting it would be. But they overlook how demanding it is. So if a 25-year-old wants to enter the beauty industry, what is one thing that they should not focus
They should not focus on the glam and glamorous thing of the beauty industry. I think when you wanted to go into beauty industry, it's because you're passionate about beauty, right? You want to enter an industry where you feel comfortable with, for sure. And beauty is something that every woman may be comfortable with. Try not to put over attention on the marketing only, like influencers, activations, events, the outside of it. But try to understand your competitors, try to understand your products, try to understand how the industry really works, and your retail partners. I think it's very important, and your consumers. So don't put too much attention on, I want to be seen, in social media. I want to create a cute videos, which is okay. They're still part of the marketing, but try to learn about the industry. Try to learn about the competitors. Try to learn about the brands inside. I think it's very important.
So, Regina, you have worked in big corporates, you worked in local startups, you've seen the companies from the operational perspective as well. So, if you were to start a company tomorrow, what is one problem that you would obsess over solving?
I think on talent, I'm very passionate in developing people and talent as well. Sometimes either in big corporations or in a startup, of course you have a lot of hesitations in terms of spending money or investing in growing talents, right? Either from training, coaching, mentoring. I feel sad when I see a good talent being wasted. That's one. Because nobody is coaching them, nobody is mentoring them. And I think Indonesia is often overlooked by other countries because they think Indonesians are, I'm not saying it's stereotype, but in a way they think Indonesia is slow, they are lazy, they don't catch up with the, overseas graduate. But actually it's not. I mean, there's still a lot of opportunity. You just need a good coach, a good mentor, a good leader who believes in them. Let me share a story. I started my career in L'Oreal because somebody trusts me. I came not from a beauty industry. I came from a Nielsen. I work from banking. So of course, when I went on interview for L'Oreal, there's this one person who used to be my boss for sure. And he chose me amongst all other candidates to work as a sales in L'Oreal. So I asked him, why did you choose me? Because I had no experience at all. He said, yeah, but I see a potential in you because you've dealt with so many people, you're very extrovert. So I think you can be a very good salesperson. But it happened because somebody trusts you. And I want to give that trust to someone else. Sometimes when we recruit people, we look at their background, but we don't look at their potential. So I think it's very good to look over the talent in Indonesia, because sometimes there you will find a lot of talents pool in your company.
Regina, one last question. So, a few years ago, it was very difficult for many Indonesian brands to compete with giants like Unilever, L'Oreal, P&G. What did global beauty giants fail to see coming in Indonesia?
I think it's the speed of Indonesian people in adapting or adopting a trend. And second is to think that Indonesians people are all the same, because we are very different. A fail to think the speed to adopt a trend is in the past 2-3 years. The consumers adopting a trend from overseas is very, very fast. It used to be from Korea, and then now it's from US, and now it's from China, the Douyin makeup. So it moved very fast because of TikTok, of course, and of course because of the Instagram as well. So it moves very fast, and the local beauty players, we are very quick and very flexible in creating a products to adopt the trend. Like now we see the Douyin makeup, so we want a more glossy finish on your lips, so we create a lip gloss. But for a beauty giant, like for example, yes, this one is a lip balm. It's like we call it in US. It's a trend. It's like a London Summer Fridays kind of thing. Okay. So we very Hello fast. Kitty thing, is it? Huh? It's a Hello Kitty. It's a Hello Kitty. We did a collaboration with Hello Kitty, so it's like a lip balm. So it can be used, on daily basis. Yeah. It's very easy. Yeah. But for big corporations like L'Oreal, if we want to make these products, it will happen in the next 2 years. But it's true. It's like it's a giants, right? To make it move, you need to move the whole corporations, even from the global and the regional basis. So that's how sometimes they fail, because is the speed to the market that is quite slow compared to the local brands. Second is they think again Indonesians are the same, but we are not the same. I'm coming from Chinese descendants, right? So I'm Indonesian Chinese, so I have a different skin tone. But even though I'm an Indonesian Chinese, I'm not really Chinese. So like my eyes, my skin tone is different. I live in Indonesia, so the skin condition is also different. Then I have a friend who lives in Nusa Tenggara Timur, which is East Indonesia. They have much darker skin tone, and maybe very, very dry skin as well. But sometimes for beauty giants corporation, they think Indonesia is the same. So I just need to have, 6 shades, 7 shades, maybe only for everybody has an oily skin. Not every Indonesian has an oily skin. We have a combination, we have a dry skin. So that's how sometimes they fail to understand the consumers. They overgeneralize the market, whereby even from each province, they will have a very, very different understanding of beauty and a very different preferences for beauty as well.
All right. Thank you, Regina, for a very insightful,
Thank you.
and a fun conversation.
Thank you, Nia.
And we are so glad that we could bring a local giant on a podcast, and that too for an industry which is massive and highly competitive in Indonesia. So thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. I hope the conversation can be helpful for the other audiences as well.
Yes, I'm sure our listeners love this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Regina.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap for this episode of Durian Dreaming. I hope today's discussion sparked some new ideas for you. Don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts, and stay tuned for more exciting stories. Until next time, keep dreaming big.